Hi everyone and welcome back to GK Today. I am Sia and very good morning. Here we are discussing the most important current affairs of 20 and 21st July. But first, let us recall the last day current affairs of 19 of July and they are. So recently India received the GEF 404 engine from which country for fighter jets, and that country is US. Answer is option number D for our LCA Mark 1A. And basically, this deal was between HAL and US based aerospace company. Moving on, the next one. The India Trade Fair 2025 was inaugurated in which country? So, a major trade fair by the Ministry of Textile and currently inaugurated in the Tokyo of Japan. The next one, which organization has released the Sustainable Development Goals SDG report 2025, and basically it was published by the UN, and in this report top 5 SDGs are highlighted. Moving on, the next one, Pradhan Mantri Virasat Ka Samvardhan PM Vikas scheme was launched by which ministry? So basically this scheme works on the skill development of people, but please note it is associated with the Ministry of Minority Affairs, not with the Ministry of Skill. And the implementation year of PM Vikas, that was 2020. The next is, which country has developed the world's lightest brain control device to steer bees? So recent groundbreaking breakthrough from a country, and that is China. So basically it is made in China, the world's lightest brain control device. The next is Cabo Delgado region, that was recently seen in news, is located in which country? And that country is African, and that is Mozambique. Recently it was in news just because of their 4 LNG project, which gained the global attention just because of carbon emission. The next is, which country has launched the communication satellite Roar-1, and recently it was launched by the Israel. Answer is option number B. The next is, according to new data released by WHO UNICEF, which region achieved its highest ever childhood immunization coverage, and that region is option number A, South Asia. The next one, a recent day, Artificial Intelligence Appreciation Day is celebrated on which day? And the date is 16 of July annually. The next one, the National Mobile Monitoring System and MMS is an initiative of which union ministry? And basically it is associated with the Ministry of Rural Development, whose current cabinet minister is the former CM of Madhya Pradesh, that is Shivraj Singh Chauhan. Back to the session. Here we are discussing the topics including Poshan Tracker app. In terminal news, we will discuss Protostar, a recent ePlatform, and that is Trade Connect, and the 4th BIMSTEC Disaster Management Exercise. In place in news category, we will discuss Mount Kilimanjaro and Reykjanes Peninsula, and a recent initiative from Kerala, and recently it gained global recognition. And India's major missile Agni and Prithvi, it was in news. We will discuss the update, economic census in India, and also authority, and that is Central Adoption Resource Authority. Here we go. The first one, Poshan Tracker app was launched by which ministry? Here we are discussing a major app in news, and that is Poshan Track, and basically the ministry is Ministry of Women and Child Development. Currently it is in news because recently the Anganwadi workers, they are facing difficulties in registering beneficiaries on the Poshan Tracker app due to technical glitches and poor internet connectivity. So just because of technology failure, Poshan Tracker app was in news. So with this question, here we are discussing the developing agency of Poshan Tracker app, and it functions under which scheme? We will discuss the name of the scheme through which it functions, the Poshan Tracker app, and the associated ministry. Overall, Ministry of Women is associated with the Poshan Tracker app. It functions under a major Abhiyan, and that is Poshan Abhiyan, launched by the PM Modi on 8th of March 2018, and basically it was developed by the National E-Governance Division (NED). And the main goal of Poshan Tracker app, it supports the Poshan Abhiyan mission to improve nutrition services. Overall, NEGD, here we are discussing, it functions under the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. Overall, Poshan Abhiyan, its goal is to reduce malnutrition in India. It was launched in the year 2018 by the PM Modi. And in 2021, Poshan Tracker app was launched under the Poshan Abhiyan by the National E-Governance Division under the Ministry of Women and Child Development. And just because of technology failure, this app was in news. Moving on, here we are discussing some major portal and app that were in current affair, and they are. Which state has received the highest number of grievances on the centralized public grievance redress and monitoring system portal in June 2025? And that state is option number, basically Uttar Pradesh it is. The eKuber portal is a core banking solution of which institution? It is related with the Reserve Bank of India. What is the name of the recently launched portal that provides open access to national and state level data on student performance? And that is Parak Rashtriya Sarvekshan Dissemination Portal. It is the Passport Seva portal, and basically it was established by the Ministry of External Affairs. Which ministry has launched the MCA 21 portal for automating corporate legal process, and that is Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Scores portal, and it was launched by the SEBI, and Bharat Poll, and it was developed by the CBI, so that India can boost its cooperation with the Interpol. Moving on, the next one, Central Adoption Resource Authority is a statutory body under which ministry? Here we are discussing a major authority, and that is CARA, and it functions under the Ministry of Women and Child Development. Currently, it is in news because recently CARA has issued new directions to all state adoption resource agencies to structure the counseling process for adoption, and that's why it was in news. Overall, CARA in India, it manages the adoption process and make cooperation between the adoptive parents and the biological parents. Overall, CARA, it functions under two major acts. The first one, Juvenile Justice Care and Protection Children Act 2015, and the second is Adoption Regulation 2022 Act. Overall, here we are discussing the act, that is Juvenile Justice 2015 Act. Last, it was amended in 2021 after the Nirbhaya case of New Delhi. Here the term juvenile, it stands for a person under 18 years accused or convicted of a crime. And this act was first enacted in the year 2000, right? Here CAR, overall it aims to enhance support for adoptive parents, adopted children, and biological parents. Here we are discussing a major authority, and that is the HAMA, Hindu Adoption and Maintenance. Basically, it is associated with the act that is of 1956. So earlier than CARA, there is a HAMA Act, and only Hindus could legally adopt the children under the act of HAMA before CARA, and it only applies to Hindus, right? Point to be remembered. Moving on, the next one. Here we are discussing a term in news, and that is the Protostar. What is a Protostar? It was recently seen in news, and that is an early stage in star formation, or you can say a baby star it is. So exactly what is a protostar? It is the first stage of a star's life. Currently, protostar, this term is in news because recently at Indian Institute of Space Science and Technology based in Thiruvananthapuram, they recently detected circularly polarized radio emission near a young protostar about 4,500 light year away. Overall, a protostar is the earliest stage in star formation. Here we are discussing the reason. Basically, a giant cloud of gas and dust in space starts collapsing under its own gravity, and as it collapses, the gas heat up and forming a hot, dense center, and this is called the protostar. And this stage can last from 1 lakh year to 1 crore year, depending on how big the star will be. Overall, at last, the protostar phase ends when it becomes stable enough to start shining like a normal star. Just because of recent discovery of radio emission around the recently detected protostar, it was in news. So this research, it is by the Indian Institute of Space Science and Technology based in the capital of Kerala, and that is Thiruvananthapuram. Overall, a question for you: what is the estimated range for the lifespan of a protostar? So it is 1 lakh year to 1 crore year. How does a protostar generate heat during formation? So basically it is by converting gravitational energy into heat. Moving on, here we are discussing the next one, and that is a major e-platform, and that is Trade Connect e-platform. So basically it is an initiative and it functions under which ministry, and that is Ministry of Commerce and Industry. So recently at two major B2B trade exhibition, the Ministry of Commerce and Industry recently promoted the Trade Connect e-platform to boost India's MSMEs and major startups. Overall, two major agencies there are related with the Trade Connect e-platform. The first one, DGFT, the Directorate General of Foreign Trade, which controls the export and import of India and the foreign policies, trade policies. And the second body is Ministry of Commerce and Industry, through which the platform functions. So this digital initiative, the e-platform, it aims to enhance international trade for Indian exporters, especially MSMEs. The platform serves as a hub connecting exporters with Indian Mission, Export Promotion Council, and the government agency, so that the process can be simplified and a major benefit for the Indian exporters to promote their trade and their product through the Trade Connect e-platform with the support of Government of India. Overall, here we are discussing the DGFT. And basically, the implementation year of the GFT, it was 1991, and it functions under the Foreign Trade Act 1992, and its primary goal is to promote and facilitate the export and import of India. Overall, here we are discussing a term, and that is B2B, business to business. So what was the first online B2B marketplace that was established in 1995, and that is Alibaba.com, right? Moving on, here we are discussing some major platform that was in current affair, that were in current affair, and they are. Flood platform is jointly developed by which two organization, and basically it is CDAC Pune and Central Water Commission. Digital Payment Intelligence Platform is an initiative of which institution? It is related with the RBI. Bhashini is a AI-powered language translation platform developed by which Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology it is, which state has become the first in India to bring all urban local bodies under one digital platform, and it is Madhya Pradesh. What is the name of new digital platform introduced by Election Commission of India for real-time voter turnout reporting, and that is ECI NAT, which ministry has launched two transformative digital platform, Know Your DigiPin and Know Your PIN Code, and it is by Ministry of Communication. Tour is a global platform and recently recognized by the Saudi Arabia to promote its tourism. Moving on, here we are discussing a management exercise, and that is BIMSTEC Disaster Management Exercise, and its fourth edition it is, and virtually hosted by the India. Answer is option number C. So it was conducted by the National Disaster Management Authority, the NDMA, and it is India's tabletop exercise and part of the BIMSTEC group. Overall, the focus was to enhance regional preparedness for cyclones, disaster management, to improve the management for flood and the other areas. Here we are discussing a major group, and that is BIMSTEC, because this management exercise, it is hosted for the BIMSTEC members only. Overall, the headquarter of BIMSTEC, it is located in Bangladesh, in its capital, and that is Dhaka. The establishment year, and that was on 6th of June 1997, and currently there are 7 members of BIMSTEC, and they are including Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Myanmar, Nepal, Sri Lanka, and the Thailand. And thus, because of this virtual exercise, BIMSTEC group was in news. Moving on, the next one. Here we are discussing a place in news category, that is Mount Kilimanjaro. And it was recently seen in news, and it is located in which country? So it is Africa's tallest mountain, located in the Tanzania, and world's largest freestanding mountain. It is located in the northeastern Tanzania. It was in news just because of the update of Defense Secretary. So recently, the Defense Secretary of India initiated some major programs for Mount Everest and Mount Kilimanjaro at an event held in South Block of New Delhi. Overall, the government of India wants to promote the climbing process on Mount Everest and Mount Kilimanjaro, and that's why they are launching major programs to boost the interest of people to join the Mount Everest, to summit the Mount Everest and Mount Kilimanjaro. So it is located in Tanzania, and Kilimanjaro, it is a type of stratovolcano made up of three cones, and they are Kibo, Mavinzi, and Shira. Okay. All right. Here we are discussing the Mount Everest. Mount Everest, it is located within Sagarmatha National Park. Is it a World Heritage Site? Please note, Mount Everest, it is a part of Sagarmatha National Park. And Sagarmatha National Park is a UNESCO World Heritage Site located in Nepal. Overall, what year was Mount Everest first summited? And that is 1953. And the climbers, basically, they are Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay. Moving on, the next one. Which initiative of Kerala was recently recognized by the UNICEF as a global best practice in responsible education technology? Here we are discussing a major EdTech program from Kerala, and that is the KITE initiative. And recently, it gained a global recognition from the UNICEF. So Kerala's KITE, here KITE, it stands for Kerala Infrastructure and Technology for Education. And initiative, basically, it was recently recognized by the UNICEF. UNICEF here is United Nations Children's Fund. And UNICEF recognized the KITE initiative as a global best practice in responsible educational technology. So it has gained both national and international attention for ethically and predictive use of artificial intelligence in school education. Overall, it was launched to promote the predictive open source based AI integration in public school. And initially, it was launched in Kerala in the year 2001 and recently gained the recognition from UNICEF, and that's why Kerala's KITE initiative was in news. You have to remember the KITE initiative, it is a EdTech program from the Kerala government. Overall, the UNICEF, basically, it is a children's welfare mission and established under the UNICEF. And which Nobel Peace Prize did UNICEF win in 1965? So basically, Nobel Peace Prize in the year 1965 to UNICEF, and its establishment year, and that was 1946. Moving on, here we are discussing a major program, that is Integrated Guided Missile Development Program, IGMDP. And the question is, what type of missiles are Agni and Prithvi, which were recently successfully test fired at Chandipur, Odisha, and basically short range ballistic missile they are. So recently, India successfully test fired nuclear capable short range ballistic missiles, including Agni 1 and Prithvi 2 from the integrated test range located at Chandipura in Odisha. So the missiles were tested under the Strategies Forces Command to check operational and technical parameter. Both missiles are developed by the DRDO, and they are the part of a major program initiated in 1983, and that is IGMDP, Integrated Guided Missile Development Program, and it was initiated by the APJ Abdul Kalam. And Prithvi, Agni, Trishul, Akash, and the Nag missiles are the major missile that is a part of IGMDP. But this program was ended in the year 2008. So just because of the successful test fire, the Agni and Prithvi missile is in news. Moving on, the next one. Here we are discussing the economic census in India, and basically it is conducted by which ministry? That is Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. So recently, the economic census in India is news because the ministry has requested the integration of the 8th economic census with the 16th population census. That's why it is in news. So the economic census, it aims to capture a full count of all entrepreneurship activities in India at a specific point in a time. It is conducted by the Ministry of Statistics to strengthen data-driven policy making, And the census provides detailed data on ownership pattern, employment number, and geographic spread of economic activities. The last economic census that was held in the year 2019-21. And please note, the only state which has not participated in the 7th economic census, and that was West Bengal in 2019. Overall, the other economic census they held in 1980, 1990, 1998, 2005, 2013, and the 7th was in 2019-21. Moving on, here we are discussing a major place in news category, that is Reykjanes Peninsula. And recently it was in news, and it is located in which country? So it is the part of Nordic nation, and that is Iceland, one of the happiest country. So recently it was in news because recently a volcano erupted in Iceland's Reykjanes Peninsula, marking the 9th eruption in the region since late 2023. Overall, it is located in the southwest part of Iceland. And this region basically it is highly active with frequent eruption and earthquake, and just because of recent eruption the Reykjanes Peninsula of Iceland was in news. Overall, the site it was located on the mid-Atlantic ridge, that is the part of the Iceland island nation. All right, so with this question we are completing the session, and I hope you have found it useful and productive. And the topic for the today's quiz, it is associated with the topic volcano in news that you have to mention in the comment box. And for more information, you can check the description box just below the video. And thank you for watching.